Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I am Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining me. So, rap superstar or megastar, whichever one you prefer to call her, Queen Latifah, has made the bold statement that obesity is not a choice. And when you think about this statement that obesity is not a choice, what is that exactly suggesting? Well, we're going to get into this uh, article right now. I'm going to read a portion of this article, and you're going to hear for yourself what she says about that. Because, after all, I guess she's a philosopher. She's a medical doctor. I guess she's educated on this issue. So let's see what she has to say. And I'm going to give you guys my commentary on this. But I already, once I read this article and really thoroughly read it, I already knew the edge it was pushing. But according to the article, it says 2 out of every 5 American adults have obesity, meaning a body mass index of 30 or higher, and an additional 1 out of 3 are overweight with a BMI of 25 or higher. Together, this is nearly 70% of the population. And yet talking openly about weight and its effects on health is taboo. This is exactly why Queen Latifah, yes, that Queen Latifah, winner of a Grammy, Emmy, Golden Globe, Screen Actors Guild, and 2 NAACP Image Awards, decided to partner with the It's Bigger Than Me, an initiative to change the way we talk about obesity. And this kills me, this so-called initiative to change the way we talk about obesity. How should we change the way we talk about obesity? Let's see what they have to say. Let's see what they have to say. We need to change the way we talk about obesity, right? Okay, let's see what they have to say. And these are her words here, I think she says, I've learned that we have a hard time talking about weight and health without making it personal or feel like a moral failing, she tells the Healthy Reader's Digest. The Healthy and Reader's Digest. If there's one thing I want people to know, it's that obesity is not a character flaw and it's not a choice. It's a disease. Biology, genetics, environment all affect weight. When people make obesity a moral issue or say it's just willpower, it implies the person is bad or wrong and chips away at that person's self-esteem. Now, here I wanted to comment about that. She's partly right about this. I do agree with that. And let me reiterate this too before I comment on what she said here. People have criticized me for being insensitive to people like, what's that pop star's name? Lizzo, whatever. Okay, I've been criticized of being insensitive to this lady and people who may be obese. But I can't help but wonder, those who have critiqued me, have they bothered to listen to my entire commentary? Because I made it clear what I was saying in the commentary. So let me just say this up front. Let me reiterate this in case no one really understands what I mean when I say that. Okay. I'm not being insensitive towards people who are obese. Okay. I believe that we need to love ourselves. There should be a healthy self-love of oneself. When you promote true self-love, I'm 100% behind that. But when you promote to people that you don't need to do anything about your weight, okay, if you're obese and it's causing health issues, shortness of breath, pain, it can lead to heart attacks, all of these type of things that come with being overweight, okay, and you are being encouraged not to do anything about it, but just love yourself, and you got to love yourself and have high self-esteem, that is promoting an unhealthy lifestyle. Here's what loving yourself is all about. And this is just my view on this before I go any further here. Loving yourself is when you do what's necessary to make sure that yourself is where it needs to be. That's why people work out. That's why people exercise. That's why people jog. That's why people lift weights. Why do they do it? They don't just do it because they don't have nothing else better to do. They do it because they love themselves. Generally, people exercise because they want to be at least semi-healthy. Okay, so that's why they do it. And that's showing love for yourself. You can't be possibly showing love for yourself if you are obese in a way that is causing drastic health issues for you. Now, let me point something out that's very important that I agree with here when she says that certain things are not a choice. It is true that certain people are genetically disposed to genes that adhere to becoming overweight. A person that has these kind of genes in them, it can cause them to become overweight quickly at the drop of a hat, and it's hard for them to lose weight. I agree with that. That is true. And a person needs to have a healthy, very powerful, and strong sense of self-worth that is outside of their physical weight. I agree with that. Okay. But to suggest to people that there is nothing that you can do about your weight, I totally disagree with that. Because even if there is a genetic disposition, there is still ways to lose weight. I have seen people in videos, and I'm pretty sure some of you guys have seen this. Some years ago, it was this one individual that was so heavy. I think they weighed up to 1,000 pounds. They couldn't get out of bed. They could not get out of bed. They had to have certain procedures, operations to extract some of the fatty tissues away from them. And then they had to go on a year-long diet. That was extremely difficult. But in order to get that person to the weight that they needed to be so that they could be healthy and not die of a freaking heart attack or crying out loud, they had to make those sacrifices. When you encourage people to say, hey, you don't need to do anything about your weight, it's not your choice, okay? You don't have any choice or say so over it. Just love yourself. Then you are encouraging people in so many ways to be lazy. You are encouraging people to look outside of themselves in order to feel good about themselves, and that is not healthy. Let's go on. That's truly not healthy. And this moralistic attitude is so deeply ingrained in our society that sometimes we even say those derogatory and hurtful things about our weight to ourselves, she adds. He says, hearing negative comments about weight lowers self-esteem. I agree with that. Hearing negative comments about weight can lower your self-esteem. Nobody who's overweight or obese wants to be called fat jokes and all this. Who wants that? Okay, unless they don't take themselves too seriously and they crack on their own selves, you know. Who wants that? Of course, it can lower your self-esteem. She says, and I know for me, when I'm in a place of low self-esteem, why are you in a place of low self-esteem, Queen Latifah? Because she has lost some of that weight. So why is she in a place of low self-esteem? I'm not going to say it here on this video, but I think I know why. But we'll go on. I'm not making the best decisions for my health or in general, she says. This affects how people decide to care or not care for themselves. And that's true. When people have low self-esteem, they don't do what's necessary to make themselves physically better. They don't wash up. They don't cut their hair. They don't shave their face. They don't brush their teeth because they think very low about themselves. But where does this come from? Is it coming from the fact that they're overweight or whatever, or is it coming from some outside source? And if someone says something about your weight, if they call you names or crack on you, which is not really the case all the time, especially now in this ultra-sensitive society that we live in. But if someone's cracking on you, making fun of your weight, then ultimately, what are you going to do about it? Think about that for a moment. Ultimately, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to want to jump out of a window and take your life? Are you going to curl up in a ball and just forget about all existence? Is that what you're going to do? Are you going to do something about it? Are you going to sit and just curl up in a ball and give up on life? Or are you going to get up and do something about it? That to me is not motivational. The stuff she's saying here does not sound motivational. It's in a slight way making it all about you have no choice in the situation, so you might as well accept your fate. But let's go on. Let's read all she has to say. How people care for their mental and physical health is important to her. How people care for their mental and physical health is important to her. Okay, yeah. Okay, that's good. As a rapper, actress, singer, advocate, and generally incredible human being. Oh, come on. How sappy is that? Come on, people. Latifah says she has seen all sides of humanity. And one thing everyone has in common is the need for good health care. Here we go. and being obese can make it harder to get that. You deserve good health care. Here we go. This is her quote. This is what she's saying. You deserve good health care. Unfortunately, doctors may be some of the people who have said negative things to you about your weight, she says. We want to encourage people to see obesity as a disease, not a choice, and to see a doctor for help. Okay, I'm confused here. You said the doctors may be some of the people who have said negative things about a person's weight. But yet at the same time, you want to encourage them to go see a doctor. Well, the doctors are the ones saying negative things about their weight, then why you encourage them to go see a doctor? Then let's look at this idea about the statement she made about, unfortunately, some doctors may have said something negative about their weight. What, and I don't know exactly what she's implying here, but could it be that these doctors are saying you're overweight, you need to do X, Y, and Z to lose that weight, because if not, it will bring about heart attacks and high blood pressure and other things that obesity or being overweight will bring. Could that be considered negative? No, it is not. It is pushing and encouraging the person to do something about their weight. So I don't see that as being negative. I'm only guessing this is what she's saying when she says, unfortunately, doctors may be some of the people who have said negative things to you about your weight. What doctor would say something negative about a patient's weight? Other than you need to lose some of their weight because it could lead to life-threatening health problems. It could lead to life-threatening situations in your life. So you may need to do something about that. Then she made this concept about you deserve good health care. Let me say this up front. Mr. Thomas Sowell made this statement when he wrote an article on health care and medical care. Health care and medical care are two different things. Liberals tend to always push this idea about health care. We need health care. We need to do something here. Everybody deserves health care. But health care and medical care is two different things. Medical care has more to do with giving people medication and certain diagnoses and giving them medication to help with certain situations in their bodies, such as psychological problems or brain problems or body problems and physical situations in their body. That's medical care, okay? Health care has to do with exactly that. Health care, and about all the doctor can do for the most part is encourage a person to do what is necessary to stay healthy. Eat the proper foods, lose weight, eat the proper foods, exercise. You have certain doctors that are what is called holistic doctors. They don't just deal with the mind, but they also deal with what you need to do with yourself physically. So this whole idea that unfortunately some doctors may have said some things negative things to you about your weight, to me right there, that seems to be implying that, hey, the only thing these doctors could have possibly said was you need to do what you need to do to lose some of this weight because it could lead to drastic measures in your body. That's it. Okay. And it says easier said than the article goes on to say easier said than done. Weight stigma is depressingly prevalent in healthcare, preventing patients from seeking health care and preventing doctors from providing the care the patient really needs. This is true for health conditions in general and for those directly related to weight. And you look at Queen Latifah. Look, she is not as heavy as she used to be. She used to be overweight big time, but she has lost a lot of weight. Now, why do you think she lost it? And this is what bothers me about it. She get up and say this kind of stuff, that that obesity is not a choice. You get up and say this kind of stuff, but yet you yourself have lost a significant amount of your weight. Now, I'm going to guess, and put it in the comment box below, but I'm going to guess that she lost a significant amount of her weight through things that she did. Maybe she was eating the right kind of foods and certain kinds of foods and refrained from eating certain kinds of foods that would add to her, making her gain more weight. Perhaps she was exercising, whatever, or she had some kind of operation. Okay, I don't know. Put it in the comment box below because I don't know. But I'm going to guess that she did the first of what I said. She exercised. She forbade herself from eating certain foods that would cause her to gain weight. And she did what was necessary to lose the weight. So if it's true that she personally did what was necessary to lose the weight that she had on her, okay, then why would you say that obesity is not a choice? That it is beyond the person's power. Even if it's in DNA, is in a genes, it's beyond their power to do anything about it. Why would you even say that when you yourself have taken measures to lose some of the weight? You see what I'm saying? This is what bothers me about liberals, man. Liberal people in power. Because it seems like to me, they say one thing and then it'd be a contradiction of everything else. It's like you just contradicted what you just said. She says, this symbol is so important. It shows patients you're safe. If I skip something here. To solve this issue, It's Bigger Than Me came up with a unique symbol that doctors can display on their business cards, in their offices, and on their websites that they are partners in this conversation. So basically, they want to change people's conversation about being overweight or obese. This symbol is so important. It shows patients, quote, you're safe here. And we're allies, she says, adding that this is for everyone, regardless of the number on the scale. No one is attached to obesity. It's bigger than me, pun intended. And while the initiative is sponsored by Novo Nordisk, a pharmaceutical company, of course. Yeah, of course, because that's how they make their money. It's about creating a holistic approach to treating obesity. Quote, I chose to be a part of this because it's not promoting a drug. It's promoting compassion, caring, respect, and communication. She says, man, stop lying. That's all I'm going to read right there. Because these people need to quit. Quit. But the bottom line is this. I said this before. What she's saying here about obesity is not a choice. It may be true that there are certain people may be genetically predispositioned to gain weight and be overweight. That's true. And being overweight can have a negative effect on a person's self-esteem. But a lot of that having a negative effect over one's self-esteem comes from your parenting, your background, your influences, how you see yourself, your accomplishments. That's what a lot of self-esteem comes from. And most people, whether they skinny or whether they're obese, look, their self-awareness or their self-esteem is based on a lot of what their parents have said about them, a lot of external influences around them. You don't have to be overweight to have low self-esteem. You have people that are not overweight that have low self-esteem. So what do you want to say about them? They have low self-esteem. What are you going to say about them? Are you going to create a pharmaceutical program for people who are small but have low self-esteem? What about people who are anorexic and can't seem to gain any weight? They try to gain weight, they can't seem to gain any weight. They're anorexic. They think that they're too big or whatever. What are you going to do about them? See, this whole idea I disagree with. I agree with some of the things she said, but I disagree with this whole idea that obesity is not a choice. Okay, you can, even with a genetic disposition, do what you can to try to lose weight so that you can be more healthy. Love of oneself is not just going around saying, I love myself no matter how I look. Love for oneself, in my opinion, is when you do certain things with your physical body to show that you love yourself. Let me say this and end this video on this. Jesus said, and the Apostle Paul said in Ephesians, the 5th chapter of the New Testament, book of Ephesians chapter 5, he says, husbands, love your wives as your own bodies. He that loves his wife loves his own body. And then he goes on in the same chapter and he says, for no man ever yet hates his own body, but cherishes and nourishes his body. In other words, how you love your body is you cherish your body. To cherish means to hold dear to yourself. He didn't just say your mind. He's talking about your physical self. When you love your physical self, you cherish your physical self. Cherish means to hold dear. Nourish means to feed, psychologically, physically, emotionally. So a person that truly loves themselves will do what's necessary to feed this physical body as well as the mind. Okay? You don't just sit and say, I love myself, and you weigh 1,000 pounds and having heart attacks, you're out of breath, you can't move and all this kind of stuff. Stop listening to these people. These people poisoning people's minds. It's not healthy being overweight like that. And that kind of stuff only leads to other bad things. It only leads to other bad things. And I hate when these liberals do this and promote this unhealthy stuff. That's my spin on it. I agree with some of what she's saying, but I disagree with a lot of what she's saying. And that's my word on it. What do you guys think about Queen Latifah's statement on obesity not being a choice? What do you think about that? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all and see you again.